YouTube? Welcome back to Universe X, and for one of today's videos, we will be diving into Red. It's a little late, like I said. This was spoiled, or started being spoiled while I was out of town at Gen Con, and so I'm just kind of getting around to it. And I didn't want to do it first because, you know, we had Black coming out, and I think there's a lot of interesting cards in there. So first thing is first, I want to kind of talk about the agenda. If you want me to, we're going to go into Red Goten side after this. But if you want me to start Turles or Gohan first, let me know in the comments. So just like literally in the comments, just Turles or Gohan. I'll read the comments and I will start on whichever one is voted on first, because you guys should control kind of the pace of the, you know, things we do here. So that being said, as per usual, there are many face groups that can deserve your attention. One of them being the official group, one of them being the fan group, the discussion group that we have, one of them even being Universe X. I do try to every now and then ask questions and then, you know, do a video and use the answers from those posts to make the video. So if you want to be involved, it's all there for you. We also have a Discord, that's Universe X. Try joining that. And last but not least, if you haven't already gotten a beautiful metal leader from TCGMetalZ, I would suggest going there, checking out their stock. You won't be able to find this one. This one's a custom made. There's only 2 of them in existence, and I'm giving away one, just trying to make the perfect giveaway. And then this one, while I don't want anybody else having it, it is available. It's the manga series U7 Gohan from set 14. Makes a lot of excellent product. There's a leader for everybody, and he's always tweaking his brand. You can go to checkout and put in the code UNIX, that's UNIX, to get 10% off your order. And every time you make a purchase off of that, you directly support the channel while supporting TCGMetalZ. So I think it's a win-win. So if you like the kind of content we put out here, smash that subscribe button. We're going up, and it only gets better from here. So let's start off with the first card. We're gonna put the template up, and we'll go into it. So Broly. You can include non-Broly battle cards in your deck. That's a huge permanent, but we'll get there. Auto, choose 1 red extra card in your hand and discard it. When this card attacks, draw 2 cards. Awaken, when your life is at 3 or less, you may draw 2 cards and switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode and flip this card over. Okay. We already see there's an extra card skill in here. You only use Broly leaders. Right off the bat, when you see so many constrictive things, this leader needs to be snapped. If it's not snapped, it's going to be very, very scary, because you already can't use lots of good red staples. No Yamchas, no new rulers, none of that. But you can use Crown of Retribution. Crown of Retribution do be kind of pog. So you also have to awaken at 3 life, which is scary. That's a very scary life total to be flipping over at. So we're gonna look at the other one. SS Broly, Demon's Second Coming. Now this is great art. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, and if there are 7 or more red extra cards in your drop area, you can activate the Activate Battle skill on a non-red field extra card. Or the red non-field extra card with an energy cost of 3 or less in your drop area without paying its energy cost. If you do, send that card to your war. Only activate battles. Activate battle, choose 1 red extra card in your hand, discard it. This card gains plus 5k power for the turn, or for the battle. So it's actually really cool, because this guy is going to combo much like Dark Broly did, to avoid the fact that you played a bunch of 30ks with 0 combo. This guy is going to allow you to turn your extra cards into combo power, so you won't get stuck with a bunch of extra cards in hand. But unlike Dark Broly, for all you whiners, Dark Broly doesn't change those extra cards into bodies on the board. You're only going to be able to get extra card effects that you use for free once per turn when you swing. This is way more balanced. Now, that being said, you can only use Broly cards, so it's not like you could overwhelm anyway, but this other effect on the back really prevents you from doing anything manipulative with your drop area. So we're going to move on to the Unison. My boy, he's back. Dark Broly, Resonant Obliteration. Permanent, if there are 3 or more red extra cards in your drop area, this card gains double strike, so he should almost always be a double strike. Even on turn 1, he may be a double strike. Or sorry, the first turn he's out, which would be turn 2, if you play him then. Activate main, look up to the top 5 cards of your deck. Add up to 1 red extra card with activate battle skill, an energy cost of 3 or less amongst them to your hand and shuffle your deck. So if he's going to be a +1, he should be a +1 every turn. You just +1 him and you grab a card off. -2 auto, when your opponent attacks the battle card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and it gains -3,000 power for the turn for each extra card in your drop area. This -2 is monumental. I'm not even gonna front. I won't even hold you, bro. Like, that's actually really, really crazy. The couple things I'm going to be afraid of about this though is that one of Red's better things that it can do is protect itself using its unison cards. Yamcha Merciless Barrage is a huge proprietor of your opponent not being able to aggress on your unison. But this guy, you can't use Yamchas, so you're kind of stuck not being able to use Yamchas, and that's a little scary, you know. That's a tad bit scary, that guy. So I'll be real. That kind of puts me off. So playing him on turn 2 is probably bad because he can probably get just erased turn 2. But maybe turn 3 or turn 4, that's pretty cool. But at the same time, his +1, you want him on the field early enough to keep generating hand advantage, because he should be giving you an extra card per turn. So you draw for your leader, swing. Oh, well, actually, you discard an extra card and you draw 2. It might even be better to use this guy to get an extra card to your hand so you have more options. Swing, discard, draw 2, and you have your draw for the turn. So this card is going to see 4 different cards pretty much per turn, and that's actually acceleration. Never forget to look at the leader and their strategies to see the average amount of cards pulled per turn. It really kind of gets you the scope of how fast you're going to be going through your deck. The next card, 1-drop, Broly Slumbering Demon. Auto, when this card is played from your hand, draw 1 card. Activate main, red 1. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and there's a red field extra card with an energy cost of 2 in your drop area, you can place this card in your owner's drop area, or in the owner's drop area. Play up to 1 red Broly card with an energy cost of 4 from your deck. Shuffle your deck. There are going to be some targets here later. We're not going to get into them now. We'll do that in the archetype breakdown when I start kind of building decks on tap, just to kind of show you guys some bread and butters. But this is neat. We're gonna move on though into this super combo. I'm so glad this happened because Prison Frieza, remember Prison Frieza got released and you couldn't even use super combos, you had to use unbreakables. Well, now they've learned their lesson, and instead of releasing it God knows how long later when we just got that one cooler super combo, or King Cold super combo, I believe, this time they released it right here. Sparking 5, because we're gonna build that graveyard, and super combo, it's actually gonna be live before you hit sparking. So, or before you hit 3 life, 4 life, 5 life. That's why it's sparking, but you could probably get this sparking off, you know, turn 3. It is actually very nice. I like this. And you got SS Broly finishing the job. Auto, limit 1 red. If your leader card is a red Broly, when you activate the activate battle skill, an extra card with energy cost of 3 or more in your hand or drop area, play this card from your hand. So that's cool. You can cheat him out with the 1-drop, but you can also play him by 1 energy when you use an extra card. When this card attacks, choose 1. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, it gains -10,000. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's unison cards, and it gets -15,000. So, this guy is actually really, really cool because he's not double strike, but he can kill weenies. He can kill weenie floodgates, which is amazing. He can also swing at a unison, take a marker off of it, and then they still have to take the marker off from his swing. And so, this guy is made to attack unisons for game. I very much so like that. 2 a turn. And the other thing I kind of like is because he's limit 1 is his summon effect, you could potentially have 3 energy open or 4 energy open, and you can use the 1-drop to take itself off the field to play this guy. But then you can also play an extra card for reduced cost with your leader or something, and play this guy with the 3rd energy, and then you swing both of them at the unison, and unless you get negated both times, that unison is going to lose 4 counters. So this card is a massive card for destroying unisons, and I very much so like that. Unless your unison is 15k or 20k, in which case this guy doesn't do diddly. But if it's 15k or less, which a majority of them are, this guy's gonna be really good for it. Next, you've got the boss card, SS Broly Brutality Beyond Measure. Brutality Beyond Measure is going to do some pretty cool things. Deflect, great in this format. Double strike. Permanent, if your opponent has 3 or more energy and you have 5 or more red cards, extra cards in your drop area, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 3, making him a 3-drop. That is wild for a 35k double strike with deflect. Once per turn, choose one card in your hand and discard it. When you activate the Activate Battle skill and add extra card with an original cost of 3 or more in your hand or drop area, switch this card to active mode. Then, if the card you discarded was, or with this skill was a copy of this card, draw 2 cards, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, ignoring barrier, and it needs minus 35k. This will kill almost any card in the game. And since it's a minus effect, it's going to go straight through indestructible too. This is a monstrous effect. And it's cool that you can discard a card, right? And oof, yeah, that's awesome. I actually really dig this. So you can always switch in the active mode to get a total of 4 damage through if they can't contest your swings. But the fact that all you have to do is see another copy of this guy and then you get to draw 2 cards and just wipe something off the board, this card is amazing. But you know what's more amazing than this card? It's SPR form. Look at this. Like, you know this card is amazing when Gohan's getting worked out, and I'm still over here like, yo, this card's amazing. Actually, can you look at that? Look at how thick Gohan is from the back. Like, I know that sounds sus, but like, look at it. Like, his upper half is like really proportionate. His bottom half is just thick. Anywho, we're back. This card looks amazing, and even though if it's expensive enough, I'll probably sell it anyway. But if I pull this, I probably want to keep it for collection. It's hot. I think I'm gonna start actually collecting more and more cards now. Now we're gonna go over to the extra cards. Okay, we got the Demon Awakens. 0 cost, activate main, limit 1, burst 1. If your leader card is a red Broly and you send this card from your drop area to your warp, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So this is neat. It's gonna help you push towards awakening. And if you're at 4, this is gonna be something that you can trigger yourself down to 5. Or to, 3, so you can awaken. So it's pretty neat. Activate battle, choose one of your cards and it gets plus 5k power. That's cool. So even on your unawakened side, you kind of get a quick battle trick. Next, the Demon Cometh. Activate main. It's cost 1. If your leader card is a mono red sand card and you choose 1 red extra card in your hand and discard it, draw 2 cards. So this is think of how the super combos replace themselves. You play them, you tug a card, you draw 2. This one is you play it, you discard 1, you draw 2. So this is very neat. Activate main, limit 1. If your leader, and yeah, it has 2 activate mains. Limit 1, if your leader card is a red Broly card and you choose 1 card in your hand, discard it, you can send this card from your drop area to your warp. Play up to 1 red Broly card with a new cost of 1 from your deck and shuffle your deck. I don't think anybody needs to be fooled around with. This and Crown go together like peanut butter and jelly. You can play Crown from your hand or deck with this card. That's disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting that you can either draw 1 or you just play Crown. So pretty much against this deck, you can never keep 2 energy open unless you want them peeking at your hand at all times. Neato. Next card, Encounter. This isn't per se necessarily a Broly, but it fits into the Broly theme because it's got an activate battle and an activate main. Cost 1. Activate main. Look at the top 7 cards from the top of your deck. Add up to 1 mono red Videl or Broly with a card with energy cost of 4 or less amongst them to your hand and shuffle your deck. Activate battle. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's cards. It gains minus 10k for the battle. Decent effects on both ends. It's going to search Broly's, or it's going to search, or it's going to minus something for 10k. Notice this is one of your opponent's cards, so that can be their leader, that could be their unison, that could be their battle card. Very versatile effect, and I love it when it does that. Now we're going to hit the SR, the big shebang for the SRs. SR extra cards, I guess. We got Gigantic Meteor, signature move. Permanent, if your leader card is a mono red sand card, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. I'm sorry, I just spaced out because I was like, that doesn't stop it from being used in Gohan, so I gotta pay attention a little bit, just a little bit. Activate battle, limit 1, choose 1. If it's your turn, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards that add up to a power of 30k or less and KO them. Choose 1 of your leader cards or your unison cards that gains plus 15k power and has its skills negated for the battle. Additionally, if your leader card is a Broly, the chosen card gets an additional 10k power for the battle. Okay, so this guy is not going to be played in Gohan, I take it back, but this is cool. So for 3, you either are going to put your Broly up to an extra 25, making him a 40k leader, which is wild. This is a good game push. Or you can, and this is also leader cards, unison cards, okay, cool. Or you could just add up to 30k and KO everything, which is also pretty cool. So Gigantic Meteor is actually really neat. Like it a lot. Now you've got Demonic Barrier. Permanent. If your leader card is a red Broly card, reduce the injury cost on this card in your hand by 2. Activate battle. If your leader card is 15k power or less, choose up to one of your cards and it gains plus 5,000 power. And if it's a Broly, it also gains critical. This is going to allow a lot of pressure. This is going to be actually pretty strong. If you have the SR Broly on field and you activate this Demonic Barrier on him, that's pretty gross because now he's double strike. He's default like double strike and critical, and he can swing twice. Yeah, I don't know what else you want me to say about that chief. That's actually a really strong interaction and can close out games hard. Even if they're at 6 life, you bring them down to from 6 to, or let's say they're at 5, bring them down to 3 and then 1, particularly with crit. Like this has a lot of potential. Next, we got Demonic Blitz. Counterattack, limit 1, negate the attack, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gains minus 10,000 power for the turn. This is already great. Permanent, if your leader card is a red Broly card, reduce the injury cost of this card in your hand by 2. Also great. Activate battle, choose up to one of your cards and gain plus 10,000 power for the battle. Cool. A little bit of a ramp that you can use from Grave, ramp and attack. But the cool part about this is if they swing with a leader or unison, you can then choose one of their battle cards and make it less effective. So it's like a 1.5. It's not quite a 2-for-1 because you're not negating 2 attacks, but it's kind of a 1.5. And the way this card is going to be able to work, you can use it on so many things in this format that have, you know, just dual attacks. Go tanks, you know, Reaper. You could use it on Reaper. You could use it on Divine Presence. You could use it on, there's too many things. This is a pretty good card. And the last card. This card has been the source of lots of controversy because the artwork is funny and the name is just as. Permanent, if your leader card is red Broly card, reduce the injury cost of this card in your hand by 2. Activate battle, limit 1, draw 1 card, then choose one of your red cards and it gains plus 10,000 power for the battle. Additionally, if that card is a Broly card, it also gains double strike. This is particularly kind of strong because this is going to be on a red card. And Demonic Barrier also says, let's see, yeah, your leader card also. But you have to use this one first because it says if your leader card has 15k power or less, choose one of your cards and gains plus 5,000 power for the turn. Additionally, if that card is Broly. So you have to use Demonic Barrier first to give it 5k and critical. But then you can use Demonic Playtime on it and give it double strike too. There's gonna be some things this does. They gave you a Champa. This deck has a Champa and a critical enabler. I cannot, bro. Even early game, this is gonna be hilarious. On 2 energy, you can swing with your leader and your opponent's like, I guess I'll let it through. And you're like, Demonic Playtime. Well, sorry, Demonic Barrier, Demonic Playtime. And now your leader is even unawakened, is a 5k plus this 10k. Your leader is 25k double strike crit. And you gave away 2 cards in hand, but you're also dropping card to, like, you're going down, you're gonna neg 2. Actually, you're negging 1, 2, 3, but you're gonna gain 2 back. So it's gonna be a neg 1 after everything, but that's huge momentum. So I'm digging it. I'm actually really digging it. Noted things. You're going to be able to use Crown of Retribution like nobody's business. I'm going to dive into the card pool to see exactly what else you can use. One thing that was ruled on the form, Activate Battle / Activate Main is a different effect from Activate Battle. So you cannot use certain things like that. If it has an Activate Battle, Activate Main, you cannot use it. So that Emperor's Death Beam, no. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I think he might have a little bit of gas to be played. JK though, because as long as Absolute Annihilation Super Saiyan 4 exists, this deck can't even pretend like it's got legs. Like, I mean, for any of you guys that don't know, Absolute Annihilation is Son Goku Absolute Annihilation. He's a yellow card, he costs 3. And yeah, when he's on the board, your opponent has to pay 1 more. He's got Deflect, Barrier, and Unique. Your opponent has to switch one of their energy to rest mode in order to activate an extra card. So it's just gonna cost 1 more. And this deck activates extra cards all the time. So if you play against yellow and they have this card in main or side, you can kiss at least 2 of your games goodbye. If they don't have it in the main, then maybe you're a little lucky. If they have it in the side though, you're not lucky. If they have it in the main and the side, your butt cheeks are out. So I don't know if this card is worth hitting or banning, but I don't think Bandai knows if they can make a card like Broly while still, or a deck like Broly while still having SS4, you know, absolute annihilation of the format. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back with this deck like the other ones in the archetype breakdowns. Let me know in the comments if you want to see Gohan or Turles first, and I will see you the next time you decide to join Universe X. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, subscribe. Hey.